The more relaxed you are, the better things work out for you. If you're constantly stressing, if you're constantly rushing, if you're constantly pacing, trying to get there as fast as possible, then you hold yourself back. You hold yourself back from being in a moment. You hold yourself back from appreciating the journey that you're on. And you just make the whole process unpleasurable. And you might get where you want to get. You might get what you want to have. But usually, you realize that that it wasn't necessary for you to just stress yourself out. The path to your goals, or the path to achieving the objectives that you want to achieve, doesn't have to be stressful. I'm not saying it doesn't have to be challenging, because we have to overcome our challenges, and we certainly have to do things. I'm not the guy who tells you you don't have to do anything and things just gonna magically come for you. They can. Some things you don't have to do everything, because the universe got you. The people that it sends into your life, that's not in your power. Sometimes people just appear at the exact perfect moment, and those are the people that help you to get to the next journey. Sometimes the right resources. Sometimes you get refunds from out of the blue, and it's the exact money that you need in that moment. That there is a universal source that's here to support you when you call on it, but at the same time you have to cooperate with it, because if you want to get somewhere, and if you want to become something, you have to go through the process of actually becoming it, but with source. And when you know that there's a source out there, in here, everywhere, that's here to support you, it just makes the whole process lighter. It makes the whole process easier, because you know that you're supported. You know that that things will work out. And this knowing then allows you to relax. And on the other hand, if you're constantly stressing, if you're constantly worrying, if you're constantly rushing, it signals to the universe that you don't trust in it, because you're operating out of a state of fear, because stress is fear. And then it turns into disease in the worst case. And what is disease? Out of ease, dis-ease. So you got to get back into ease, because the more relaxed you are, the better things flow. And I'm not talking about sleeping all the time. I'm not talking about not doing anything and getting into a state of apathy where you just don't care about anything anymore and don't have any motivation for anything. That's the strong, the other side, that's the strong contrast. That's the other side where it then turns into something negative. You know what I mean? Like then it's not serving you neither. But when you are relaxed, and you move out of a state of relaxation, and you work out of a state of relaxation, you work out of a state of trust, that's when things start to open up, and that's when things start to flow to you, And that's when you're just on this wave of momentum. That's when you build the momentum. That's when you become the momentum. You become one with the way. You become one with the source. And then you allow the source to work for you. And whatever you call that source. I'm not religious. I think you can find great information and inspiration in all the religions, but it's not about that. You don't have to belong to a religion, but truth is, whether you believe it or not, at least my truth, that there is a source that connects us all, and this is a supportive source if you realize that it is here to support you, and when you open yourself up to its support, and when you're willing to cooperate. And being willing to cooperate is not always comfortable, because it often requires you to give up certain things that are no longer in alignment. Because sometimes the things you ask for are not here yet, because you haven't become the person yet that you need to be to sustain this reality. Or because you didn't let go of something that needs to be let go of, so that you can live this life. Or you still haven't mastered this skill, or you still have a habit that's draining you, that's holding you back, for you to realize this reality, for you to live in this reality, for you to realize this goal. But even that's fine. And sometimes you need to admit it to yourself. You need to admit to yourself that you're not there yet. And that also can relieve a lot of stress. Just telling yourself, I'm not there yet. I don't feel ready yet. But I intend to feel ready. Because that intention will manifest itself over time. I'm not saying that you don't do anything, like that could be an excuse itself, but simply having the intention when you're not ready to fully commit to it, saying, I intend to be all in on this. I don't feel ready now, but I intend to get there. I intend to live this life. I intend to be the person that gets up early and dedicates its time to something meaningful. I don't know what this meaningful thing is right now. Sometimes you don't know. But if you can admit that to yourself, that's when you open yourself up to the support. When you say, I don't know what that meaningful thing is right now. I don't know what it is. I have the desire to serve. I have the desire to share something meaningful with the world, but I don't know what it is right now. Then that's when you stopped resisting and acting like you have it all figured out. And that's the moment when source, when God, when the universe can come in and say, I heard you. Thank you for admitting it. I will let you know. And then you are open and receptive for it. You say, I'm open and receptive to receive a vision. I'm open and available for this vision. And in the right moment, you will know. And it's probably going to be in a moment where you least expect it. And it most likely is something that's been there all along, but you just haven't been aware of it yet. Because you haven't attained this level of consciousness yet. But it's all a process. And the more you relax into the process and relax into your being and allow yourself to unfold in alignment with your nature, that's when life becomes more enjoyable. And even the hard times then become more enjoyable because you embrace them and you accept it as it is. It doesn't mean that you don't intend better for the future, but you embrace what is right now. And when you release that resistance, you then open yourself up for new blessings to enter your life. And that's the key. That's the key to life. Just knowing that you don't have to do it all yourself. And knowing that you're always supported. Even if it doesn't seem like that, sometimes you're always supported. And there's a mantra, an affirmation I've been using over and over again for years. And it really changed my life. And I just recently started how it really started changing my life. It's the saying, or the affirmation, everything unfolds perfectly for me. Everything works out in my favor, or to my favor. I say in my favor. But everything unfolds perfectly. There's another one. There's nothing that ever goes wrong in my life. How about that? Because when you adopt that belief, it becomes your reality. Because your beliefs create your reality. And a belief is a thought combined with feeling. And when you feel into that thought and you allow it to happen, then it comes. So whatever it is that you want right now, just know that it's already there. You just have to allow yourself to get it. You just have to allow yourself to go through the process. You have to allow yourself to become the version that can actually be in this reality. So shift from wanting to allowing. And drop the stress. Feel into the stress, acknowledge the stress, and then drop it. It's just like when you take something, let me take an object. Here's something, You just take something, you hold it tight. You see? What happens when you open it up? You release it. It's not there anymore. I just let it go. And that's what happens with your thoughts too. You can drop a thought in any moment. You can even interrupt it. Let's say I say this sentence is, I don't know if you get what I mean, but you can stop yourself midway of doing something simply by stopping. And you can drop a thought or drop a habit or drop a emotion in an instant simply by dropping it, simply by letting it go. Sometimes it's harder, sometimes it's easier, but it's always simple. And it's always just that, letting it go. Sometimes it might take you longer, which is okay. But it can happen in an instant. It always happens in the instant when you make the decision to let it go. So all your stress, all your worry, all your rushing, so constantly being on the hustle, relax, and it's all going to work out for you. The moment you relax and the moment you trust, that's when the magic happens. And that's when you open yourself up to a new reality. And all that you want will come to you because you're no longer attached to it. And detachment is the key to manifesting whatever you want to manifest, or realizing whatever you want to realize, or achieving whatever you want to achieve. Doesn't matter what word you use, but to become what you are truly meant to become. That's what it's about. That's what life is about, becoming more of who you truly are. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, share it with a friend. And I thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I'm Laharu. This is the way of law, and we keep on rising. We keep on elevating. One love.